Are you short on money? Are you looking for a giant get-rich-quick scheme? Do you want to show the world how great the El Presidente is at leading the island? Then tourism might just be for you. Hello, Hogziller here again, and in today's video I will talk about tourism in Tropico 6. The pros, the cons, and some general tips on what you need to build to bring in loads of money to your island. If you like these kind of videos, press that like button. If you have any questions, leave a comment below so I can get back to you, and please subscribe to my channel to receive notifications of my upcoming videos. Let's start with the obvious. What is tourism? This is where you can build infrastructure to allow tourists to temporarily come to your island for a limited amount of time and spend lots and lots of money at local entertainment spots. This is a fairly easy way to make huge amounts of money, but there are some risks which we will cover momentarily. Let's cover some of the pros and cons of having tourism on your island. The first pro is you can bring in large, huge, unreasonable amounts of money to your island. Frankly, this whole tourism mechanic in Tropico 6 is overpowered, as you can quickly rack up the money if you do it right. Another pro is that tourism buildings provide jobs for your island citizens, which can be helpful if you have a high unemployment rate. The final pro is it diversifies your economy so that if one sector starts to struggle or has issues like manufacturing, then tourism can pick up the slack or at least prevent you from going bankrupt. Now some of the cons or disadvantages of tourism. The first one being tourism can be a giant drag on the economy and your bank balance if you have lots of rebel attacks and or wars. When you have an attack on your island, all current tourists will immediately stop and flee for the ports and airports to go home. This will in turn cause all your money-making hotels and entertainment attraction buildings to be a giant expense, which will drain your money as no tourists mean no money coming in. This will quickly put you in the negative. One other possible minor con of tourism is that if you have a giant amount of open jobs or no unemployment on your island, then tourism can be a drag on your bank balance, or at least you will not get the full benefit. The amount of space for people to be at an entertainment building is based on the total number of workers working at each location on a prorated basis. So if you have an entertainment venue that has 20 spots and requires 4 workers, you will get 5 spots for tourists for each worker employed. So for example, 2 workers means you would have only had 10 spots available. So if you don't have workers, then the building is generating all expense and no income. So hire workers if you need to, because that's at least better than losing money. Now here are some general tips I use when building my tourism infrastructure. The first tip is to build a variety of different building types, as there is a variety of different tourist types. For example, for the relaxation tourist type, you might build a golf course. For the cultural type, you might build a gourmet restaurant. For the thrill-seeking type, you might build a casino. And for the backpacking type, you might build a snorkel bay. Also make sure that you're building entertainment buildings for the child tourist type. So that would be the arcade, the funfair pier, or the aqua park. The second tip is to make sure you are clicking the tourist only checkbox for the tourist areas. One of the primary reasons you do this is because you get to charge 6 times the normal fee for tourists as compared to normal island citizens if they were to use that same building. The other reason you do this is to prevent normal island citizens from using the building, clogging up spots that would normally go to tourists. If a normal island citizen were to use these spots, then the tourists might be unsatisfied that there's not enough entertainment buildings for them, and you might not get as much money from the tourists. The third item I want to discuss is making sure you have enough transportation infrastructure to allow your tourists to move around. They normally will walk from building to building, but if there is a giant gap from building A to building B they want to go to, that is just wasted time and lost money while waiting for them to walk. You can shorten this transportation time by building metro stations. If you build a couple metro stations, this will allow your tourists to move more freely. But don't build too many, as the more you build, the longer a person will take to get off the metro. If the metro is not available, or you're building your tourist infrastructure across multiple islands, then you can always use bus stops. The final item is to make sure that you build enough high-volume hotels to maximize the number of tourists that can stay on your island. Depending on what era you are in, this can be a hotel or the economy hotel, or if you have the New Frontiers DLC, the capsule hotel. To get even more people to your island, you can change the work mode for some types. For the hotel, you can change the work mode to Hotel Camerote. For the economy hotel, you can use the half-room work mode. Both of these will lower the quality of the facility, but will increase the capacity, getting you more money. If you have a capsule hotel, you can add additional layers or pods on top of each other to increase capacity. You do want to keep an eye out for how many open rooms you have. If you have too few, that could be lost income, as when the airplane or tourist boat comes, there will be no open rooms, which means nobody will disembark. While having too many open rooms means you're not getting the income for those rooms, which means you could be losing money, as they'll generate more expense than income. Keep in mind that tourists come and go from your island, so there will be ups and downs in the occupancy rate. That is all for this video. If you like these kind of videos, press that like button. If you have questions, leave a comment below. And please subscribe to my channel so that you know when my upcoming videos are going to drop. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.